Hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Hey, good morning, everyone. Jo here at SportsGrid. It's time for Pocket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV on X. I hope everyone's morning is starting off absolutely fantastically. And I'm hoping you took the one bet that I absolutely loved yesterday, which was the Seattle Kraken coming back after that first period versus the Buffalo Sabres. Now, if you live bet that one, you made some freaking amazing money because the Buffalo Sabres went up first like we wanted. And then I know some of you did because you wrote me, you came back in after that first period on the Kraken plus money on that money line. So congratulations to everyone who did tail that bet. They ended up winning versus the Buffalo Sabres 6-2. So live betting in the NHL is absolutely a moneymaker when you have a game plan going into it. Always have that game plan, what you're liking going in, and then watch the lines and see what they adjust to. We know the Seattle Kraken start off slow, and we have another opportunity with them on the second night of a back-to-back tonight, taking on the Detroit Red Wings. So let's jump into this game first. You guys, smaller slate out there on the board. A couple of these games I'm liking to go to overtime. Couple of first periods, couple of goal scorers. I'm liking the goal scoring props today. So let's look at the Seattle Kraken versus the Detroit Red Wings. Now, Detroit is the favorite at home. This team rolling freaking hot. They're minus 160 here on the money line. We got a total of 5.5. The juice to the total is at over 5.5 at minus 134. Seattle has dominated this matchup, but one thing that's held true between these two teams, 4 of the 6 meetings between these teams of all time have gone to overtime. So I'm on that overtime bet. The books have it at plus 290 for this one to go to overtime. Because I like this one to go to overtime, I do think it's more likely 3-3 style game going into OT. We have seen those trends to the over. I expect a 4-3 win out of one of these teams here. So give me the over 5.5 at minus 134. If you want to ult it to over 6.5, 100%, I would get behind that. You're going to get great plus money. And Rob, thank you so much. That was absolutely brutal last night. I had a little cry, not going to lie. So a lot of coffee is needed today. The ice was needed for the eyes, but we're good. We got this on to next season for the Chargers and can take some of my emotion out of the rest of the postseason, which is always a good thing as a bettor. So the Kraken here at plus 132. This is a team that actually has struggled on the second night of a back-to-back. So one thing to watch for here, they've lost their last 8 games on the second night of a back-to-back, and Grubauer in net tonight. I don't trust Grubauer right now, you guys. You look at Grubauer on the season, he's gone 5-13-1 with a 3.62 goals against average and an 875 save percentage, which is crazy to think here that he just hasn't been looking like he did in previous seasons. Cam Talbot expected here for Detroit. Now, he doesn't have the best numbers either. Detroit rolling hot, like I said, won the last 6. Second night of a back-to-back for Seattle. I think they can push this to overtime, and they've had so much success versus the Red Wings that I'm not willing to lay the juice here on the Red Wings in overtime to get the win. I do think you look at the Red Wings in the first period. Again, we saw Seattle in the first period yesterday have those struggles to the Buffalo Sabres. They were able to come back from a 2-0 deficit in that first period, winning at 6-2. I expect Jared McCann and this team to be able to fight their way back after going down again in that first period. I just don't want to take the money line on either side of this bet. So give me the Red Wings first period for that lane. I'm going to look at Jared McCann here to score a goal here for the Seattle Kraken. I love what he's been able to do in the last 3 games versus the Red Wings. He's been able to put a goal on the board. On the other side, I'd look at Dylan Larkin. So give me the overtime bet at plus 290. Give me the over 5.5. Ult it to over 6.5. For the last 6 meetings have gone to overtime, like I said. And the road team has had road ice advantage in these matchups. Detroit and the over. I don't blame you, Tony. And if Detroit wins this one, their next game is the San Jose Sharks. So can they win 7 in a row? Today would be 7. The next game would be 8. Man, this team is rolling so freaking hot. Kane and DeBrincat for the points again. Yeah, I like Kane and DeBrincat for the points as well. Great way to go. Look at Jared McCann on the other side as well. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Tampa Bay Lightning off the loss in overtime to the Carolina Hurricanes. You guys know I love them to roll in versus New Jersey Devils. I love them to roll into New Jersey, hit Markstrom hard. They didn't hit him as hard as I expected. This team has now lost their last 4 out there on the road, and I am looking for them to come out strong in this one, at least to start. But I think the Pittsburgh Penguins, off a shutout loss to the Ottawa Senators last night, should come out strong to start in this as well. So I'm looking for both of these teams in the first period to get up. Now, the over 1.5 in the first period, you're going to have to lay the juice. It's minus 150. Both teams to score in the first period at plus 144. I do think Sidney Crosby comes out so strong after being shut out last night. So the lines right now, the Pittsburgh Penguins are plus 122, minus 146 for the Tampa Bay Lightning, total 6.5, minus 132 to the over, and I would lean that way before I would take this one under. Looking at the Tampa Bay Lightning, we know what they're able to do offensively. They have the Bruins on deck on Tuesday, second night of back-to-back again, overtime last night, and then we have the Pittsburgh Penguins off a game which they got shut out. So look for both of these teams to step up in that first period. The over 1.5 and the both teams to score in the first period, my best bet. Sidney Crosby to score an anytime goal as well, I do think is strong, and I do think this is a 4-3 style game. So give me the over, and then give me this one to go to overtime. Plus 330 for these two teams to go to OT. I expect an absolute battle between them out here. Now, the last time these teams matched up back in November, we did see an overtime win by the Tampa Bay Lightning, 3-2. I think it's 3-3 going into overtime, 4-3 a style win for one of these teams out there. Do I want the Penguins to be able to get it done at home? We got a home dog in them here at plus 122. Yes, but this is a team that can get up and then let everything go, you guys. So if they're up by a couple of goals, should we come back in on the Tampa Bay Lightning plus 1.5? Heck yeah, because the Penguins cannot hold on to leads to save their lives. So another live betting opportunity in that one if we see the Penguins go up fast to start. The Lightning, though, have struggled versus the Penguins. That's something to keep in mind. I do think the Penguins have the opportunity of getting the win. When we look at those stats, the Lightning are 2-6 in the last 8 meetings versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. So rolling into Pittsburgh, they've only won 7 of the last 23 meetings as well. So the Penguins should have the home ice advantage here. But with how bad they played last night, it's like you want to shake them. Like, what are you guys doing out there? Look for Sid to step up. The next game is the Anaheim Ducks taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, the Ducks were not barking last night, not quacking last night. They completely fell flat on their face. Troy Terry's still out of this lineup, and the Ducks got shut out by the Philadelphia Flyers. Their easiest opponent out there on the road trip, 6-0, you guys. They laid the biggest egg possible out there in that game. They didn't show up defensively. They didn't show up offensively, and the Flyers had their way with them in that game. Now they're rolling in to take on a Carolina Hurricanes team that, yes, has been inconsistent, but this team has dominated at home. They're coming in at a $5 favorite, minus 520 here for the Carolina Hurricanes. You guys know there's no way I'm even throwing that in a freaking parlay. This is hockey. There's puck luck. Anything can happen out there on the ice. But do I want to trust in the Anaheim Ducks? I want to. Will my money get there? Heck no. After what we saw last night, I can't get my money there, even though they played this team so phenomenally strong. They've been actually able to win in Carolina. It's like the Canes overlook this team. The Canes coming off a back-to-back. They're coming off, actually, they're not on the back-to-back. The Canes won on Friday versus the Vancouver Canucks. So they got the 2-0 win on Friday. They come in rested, and then they don't play again till Wednesday. So are they feeling a little bit of vacation mode with a game on Friday and not again till Wednesday versus the Sabres, where they'll hit the road? Sunday game here, this could be a situation where they underestimate the Ducks and the Ducks get another win. Like, we look at the Ducks, they won 7 of the last 9 meetings in Carolina, 14 of the last 14 of the last 19 meetings overall versus Carolina. So they get Carolina in these spots, but Carolina at home, 17-5 at home. It's hard to step in front. One thing to note on this game, we have a jersey retirement here of Eric Staal. Eric Staal's brother, Jordan Staal, plays here for the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm going to take Jordan Staal for the anytime goal at plus 280. With banner retirements, it sometimes does not play well out there for the home team. And I know my partner on in-game live, Scott Wetzel, always loves to fade teams in these situations with these banner retirements. And this could be another situation. But second night of a back-to-back for the Anaheim Ducks, game 3 of 6 out there on the road. There's so many reasons not to back this team. They've lost their last 3. Last night, shut out again by the Flyers, like I said. So I don't want to put my money there. I will put my money on the Carolina Hurricanes in the first period. Give me the first period to come out strong by the Carolina Hurricanes at minus 118. The Ducks seem to lose these first periods and then fight their way back into the game when their opponent is just overlooking them at that point. The game under 6.5, these teams trend to that over, but I'm going to take it under the 6.5. If you want to isolate one team's team total, I can't get there with the Ducks because the over 1.5, I expect them to get at least 2 goals in this. It's minus 182. The under 4.5 goals here for the Carolina Hurricanes is minus 128. So I think it's a 4-2 style game here. That being said, I don't want to, with what Carolina has done inconsistently and how the Ducks have played them, I don't want to take the Carolina Hurricanes laying 1.5 at minus 176. What I will do is if the Ducks go down in that first period, like betting the Ducks plus the 2.5 with value at like minus 110 or plus 120 is where I'll go. I want to take the Ducks plus 2.5 when we get that number available. So going into this game, I'll take Carolina, puck line, laying a half goal in the first period and the under 6.5. I'll then take Jordan Staal here for the anytime goal for Carolina at plus 280. Again, his brother's jersey is being retired. Eric Staal played 12 seasons with the Carolina Hurricanes. He had 775 points, and he broke so many records out there. Okay, let's move on to the next game, you guys. We have the Dallas Stars taking on the Ottawa Senators. Now, the Ottawa Senators are home dog at plus 120, Dallas minus 144. Another total of 5.5. That 5.5 juice to the over at minus 120. Looking at the goaltending matchup, Casey DeSmith versus Forsberg is your expected goalies. The Stars rolling in freaking hot, you guys, winning their last 7. Also win last night in a shootout 2-1. And then we have the Ottawa Senators were out on the road last night, got that shutout win versus the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-0. Now they have gone 4-5-1 in their last 10 games. So even though they got that shutout, they just are like floating around 500 in their last 10. When we look at the Dallas Stars, this is game 4 of 5 out there on the road. They end the trip with the Leafs on Tuesday. I'm a little worried about tired legs here for the Dallas Stars. 3 of their last 4 games have gone to overtime, and this is their 4th game in 6 nights, with 3 going to OT. Look for the Ottawa Senators to hit Casey DeSmith in this game. I'm expecting the Ottawa Senators to be able to put some goals on the board. Thomas Chabot, definitely someone I have circled for that anytime goal for the Ottawa Senators. When we look at him versus the Stars, he's been able to score in the last 3 games versus them. So Thomas Chabot for the anytime goal. I'm going to take a chance here on the home dog in the Ottawa Senators. They won their last 7 at home versus the Stars. So this is a strong place for them versus the Stars when they're at home. The Stars did win the last matchup. It was just on January 2nd, 4-2 win, but that was in Dallas. So I think tired legs here, too many overtimes, and we see the Senators rolling in hot off of that game last night where they got the shutout. And then the last game, you guys, 1 game left to go over here. We have the Minnesota Wild taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Now the Wild at plus 152. Kaprizov still out of this lineup. Minus 184 here for the Vegas Golden Knights, who laid an egg last night versus the New York Rangers. Rangers winning that one 2-1. I still can't believe what we saw. Mark Stone came out nice and strong. He got us the point. He was able to actually get a power play point for us last night. This one has a total of 5.5, minus 140 to the over and plus 114 to the under. If you like Vegas and you like them big, minus 1.5 on that puck line is plus 138. I'm going to look at this game to go over that total. It is juicy to the over, right? The over is minus 140. Those lines have actually flipped. We were seeing the juice to the under as of when these lines opened up. We have a Vegas team that's so strong on that power play, converting 25% of the time. They take the least penalty minutes of anyone in the league at 5.3. Their kill is 77.3, though, when they have to kill those penalties off. But the Minnesota Wild don't worry me on their power play. It's only converting at 18.5. Their kill is weak at 72.1. So look for Vegas again to score on that power play. Mark Stone, Jack Eichel is where I'd go for the power play points, but I'm also looking at Thomas Hertl. Thomas Hertl at home has been able to score in the last 3 versus the Minnesota Wild. So Thomas Hertl for the anytime goal here for the Vegas Golden Knights. Look for Vegas to bounce back. Now Vegas versus the Minnesota Wild have been able to cover the puck line in 7 of the last 10 versus Wild. So I will lay the puck line. You can look at first period puck line as well. The Wild have only won 1 of the last 6 meetings in Vegas and 1 of the last 7 meetings overall. So I don't trust this team, even though we have seen road ice advantage with the road team winning for the last 5. I do think we go over, and I do think Vegas ends up getting a win. Now, this is going to be a tight win. It's not going to be an easy win. I think that extra goal probably comes in the form of an empty netter. So it gives me even more reason to like that first period, half a goal there on that puck line for the Vegas Golden Knights. I think they come out strong in that first period after losing their last 2 games. This team is going to be absolutely frustrated after losing those last 2. So Mark Stone able to get that only goal yesterday in that 2-1 loss to the Rangers. Now, second night of a back-to-back here for the Wild as well. They beat the Sharks 3-1 yesterday. Matt Boldy, had 4 shots on goal, a goal, and an assist. So Boldy is definitely rolling hot right now if you want to look for a playmaker for the Minnesota Wild with Kaprizov off the ice. But you look at the Wild, and as a dog in their last 6 games is on the second night of back-to-back, they have taken those L's. So I'm looking for them to take another L in this one tonight. Hopefully we can get the full puck line here for the Vegas Golden Knights. And yeah, Lucas Raymond, I like him for the 2 points in the anytime goal for Dylan Larkin as well in that matchup. Like, I think it is a strong way to go. But you guys, that is all 5 games. We're going to fly through the recap here. We've got Wild Card Weekend football kicking off right away. So make sure you check out My Cup of Joe. It is up on all socials right now. So go on over, check that out. What I'm liking in this game between Denver and Buffalo, but let's get to that recap. Okay, 3 p.m. Eastern, we kick off with the Seattle Kraken taking on the Detroit Red Wings. Favorite bet in this game, give me overtime at plus 290 for the last 6 meetings, and only 6 meetings between these 2 teams in franchise history for the Seattle Kraken have gone to overtime. Look for the overtime to hit in this one. I expect the Red Wings to get up in that first period. I'll lay the half a goal on the puck line in the first period for that great plus money. Dylan Larkin for the anytime goal, but on the Seattle side, Jared McCann for the goal here as well. He's been so strong in his career versus the Red Wings, and I think he finds the back of the net. I'm looking for this one to go over that total of 5.5. 4-3 style win in overtime for one of these teams. With Grubauer in net, not enough value for me to jump on Seattle at the moment, but I do think it can be a live betting situation as we see Seattle go down like we saw yesterday. Jumping back in on Seattle plus 1.5 when they go down in that first period is where I will be looking to go. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Pittsburgh Penguins, look for both of these teams to come out on fire in the first period. Second night of a back-to-back for both. The Penguins got shut out yesterday, and the Tampa Bay Lightning lost in overtime to the New Jersey Devils. Both teams to score in the first period is my favorite bet at plus 144. Sidney Crosby for the anytime goal, definitely favorite player prop in this matchup and the game to finish in overtime. 4-3 style game again, so over and a plus 330 overtime bet. The Anaheim Ducks and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Ducks have been dominantly strong versus the Carolina Hurricanes, winning 7 of the last 9 matchups in Carolina. I just can't put my hard-earned money on the Ducks after what we saw last night. If the Ducks go down in the first period, which I'm expecting Carolina to win that first period covering that puck line, I will be coming back in on the Ducks plus 2.5 if I'm getting plus money or minus 110. So give me the Ducks plus 2.5 if we get the live betting situation going into this game. Even though these teams trend to that over, I will take the under 6.5. I think this is a 4-2 style game, but I don't want to lay the juice on the puck line here with the Carolina Hurricanes. It's too expensive for me, and not enough faith in this team that has been inconsistent, even though so strong at home. So first period here, puck line for the Carolina Hurricanes at minus 118, and then Jordan Staal for the anytime goal. His brother is getting his jersey retired here for the Carolina Hurricanes today. I think he shows up big, and he has been showing up big, getting those goals over his last couple of games. The Dallas Stars versus the Ottawa Senators. Give me the Sens barking dog here at home. I think even though they're traveling back home from that shutout win versus the Pittsburgh Penguins last night, they have the upper hand versus the Dallas Stars team that 3 of their last 4 games have gone to overtime. The Senators have also won the last 7 meetings versus the Stars at home. So plus money and Thomas Chabot for the anytime goal. The Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights. This will be a tight battle, but when I think Vegas gets an empty netter to cover that puck line. So I'm expecting that. I'm going to look at Mark Stone for the power play point tonight. I'm going to look at this game to go over the total of 5.5. Thomas Hertl for the anytime goal as well for the Vegas Golden Knights. And if you want a player for the Minnesota Wild, Matt Boldy there. He has been playing strong. But you guys, that is the show for today. Make sure you join me back here on SportsGrid TV on X tomorrow at noon Eastern. We will be live going over the full slate tomorrow. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. Let's make some freaking money. Good luck in your wildcard bets as well. Again, I'm live on the grid. 4:20 Eastern, all the way through to the end of the Packers and the Eagles game. Live betting this game with Scott Wetzel and Adam Kaufman. So make sure you join us. It's going to be a lot of fun, and then we will dive into our bets for the night game as well. And my cup of Joe is out for my bets right now between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. Let's go, you guys. Let's make some freaking money. See you back here.
Hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies.